Welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration. My name is Nilaus and we are continuing on our journey here. And I know this is a long series. We're actually up to episode 23. On the other hand, if you think about it, episode 23 and we made this much progress is kind of impressive. Although you could say you're only getting started on the space science. I don't know. Anyway, I think we'll have plenty of episodes to go. And as long as you have an interest in it and I have an interest in it, then we're going to continue. So you know the drill. Express your interest. Then I'll continue both here and of course on Twitch where I'm streaming it on Sunday evenings. Now let's get into the details of this episode. This episode will be about getting rid of the old in favor of the new. So we still have this part here, which means we have a bus build that makes blue science not very well. I've actually shut it off because I don't want to produce things down here. So we also don't have any science that only requires pink and blue science. So this needs to go. We have converted all the original, the first one, productivity, utility, and space science. They have made, and we have taken the pink science last time. So now we want to make the blue science, but not only the blue science, because blue science, once we make it, some of it will be very much the same as what we have here. So which is good. Then we also need to work on all that other crap that's here. Like for example, yeah, this thing here. This is a little rocket thing because I'm not going to bring in by rockets. It's a cannon thing. I'm not going to bring by rockets this part here, but I'm going to bring in... Ah, that's interesting. Ah, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We also have stuff like this, which is a method of me expressing what I want to just always have in orbit. So it'll just keep sending messages back on what should be brought in. It'll be brought into location, and once I feel I need it, then I'll bring it up here, and then it'll be put into this box here. So we need a lot of those things already or converted, and we also had to make our air support and those kind of things, together with, of course, the hub has to be converted, and this part here, which is my backup launcher and sort of my receiving more parts if I should need it. Awesome. So let's get started with that. Jumping out, we are going to start up here in this field. Yes. So we'll have all the blue out here, and all the blue ones, they need one thing in common. Let's have a look at our FNA mod. I love this one, and especially I love calling it FNA because it pisses people off. We need beryllium plate, okay. We also need Astrometrics, whatever. And there are 3 different ones, and they basically have the same recipe. It's slightly different here with the time and the percentages and all that stuff. But there's infrared observation data, goes into a frame into a data, and the frame comes from a blank observation frame. So the blank observation frame is the first thing we want to make. So let's make this one here. It's going to be pretty simple because we can just make it, you know, like, I guess, something like this, and put that in the middle, and here, let's trace it backwards again. That one, so coal and glass on one side, and oh, there are 2 recipes. Steel or beryllium. So basically we take 1 beryllium instead of 1 steel, and then we get twice as many. Let's go with the beryllium. I think we have enough of that. So that means we need to have beryllium over here. We need to have that one up here. And that should be pretty straightforward. We are going to do a lot of these things when it comes to sort of filling in the blanks here. We won't be doing all of that in detail. That's kind of how we've accustomed ourselves to do that. And let's do this. This is a good termination one here. And yeah. Now, how fast are you going to make it? You're going to make the beryllium one. And let's get a... Let's see. And let's get that in here and here, just for the hell of it. There you go. And let's see. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to build this and get connected. So how fast is this if I speed everything up? There we go. This is 100. Yeah, let's call it 100. That's 2 blue belts, and then there's a little bit left over. This seems fine. So we'll get the 2 blue belts, which are obviously white here. And let's look at the other consumption rates. That means a lot of light oil, and then all the other ones are not particularly high quantity. So even then, it should be fine. I'm going to bring this out here. This will be a liquid. Actually, let's just fire this one up. These will be coal and glass. Those are things we have. And over here, beryllium, we have that. And then light oil, we have that. And then just fit it in here. And so it's built, and we just hook everything up here. That is the coal and glass. On the other side, we will get the light oil and the beryllium. Once we have that, we should see the whole thing come into action. There we go. We just love seeing things just jump into action like this. There we go. That's the first one, and that's the second one. And we got the oil here, and we got the beryllium. All right, so that should give us 90 per second of the these blank observation plates. There we go. And with that sorted, we can then move on to the next part. The next part is all the way down here. And jump down. We will be making the different observation planes things here. So now we're going to be using what we have, and let's just have a look again. Here. Now it's infrared. So what we need is we need to take the blank observation plate and make it into an infrared observation plate. That we do that by having it with some cooling. So we need cooling inbound. Great. Then we take here, and in an Astrometrics facility, we turn it into infrared observation. Cool. Then we got junk cards and scrap cards. So we got 3 inputs or outputs. We get 1 input and 1 input. So we got 2 inputs, and that means we can do 2 inputs. They will be down here, and then we'll also get the... Now I need to make sure that we get the right one. There's a lot of clicking here. It's this one. So it's a cold, not the cool, but the cold. Is this cold? Yeah, it's cold. Then we take this one as the template for the cold, and that will be made over here. Don't want to get it in. Don't want to get that one in. Just so we have it. Okay. And now we need here. And let's see if we can find a good way to make this. And these will be fast. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. That one. And that means I can get you on the inside here. And then I'm going to have a belt coming in here, which will both be the input and the output belt. And that means I can do this for the pattern. I think I need one more. And then we also have the outbound. And they are conveniently pointing in that direction. And if we have 5 of these, and I also need to hook them up to some... some power. Let's get that one and get it out here. Alright, so how fast is this? This is... It's consuming a lot of like a lot. Okay. And we get 5.2. And then we need the Astrometrics lab over here. I think it's 5:1 ratio. So let's give that a shot. And that should be here. And that'll also be fast. That will then be infrared. There. And do we... Let's have a look. I will then need another line here. And I'm going to get at this point. Let's see. This point here will be coming from that line down here. Yeah. And it'll then go over. Because I'm going to have more of these blocks. And that goes in. And let's have a look at ratios. Pretty good ratio. There's a little bit of surplus, which is fine. And then this one needs to go out on that side and upwards. So now I'm designing the whole thing here as... So my point here is that I'm going to get on inside. Inside will be the inputs and outside will be the outputs. Oops. There. And let's just make this so that we ensure that we don't send off the wrong things. That will be... Oh, where are you? This is... Oh, they're over here. Infrared. That kind of seems a little bit silly that we want that. Let's instead make this as that one. Good. So that it only comes over here. Good. And I will now need some input. That means from down here, I will need... There we go. That's an input. And that's basically a frame, isn't it? I get this. This is the one of these frames. Okay, so let's take this out as a unit and then just align it towards here, and maybe something like this, and then oh no. Is it gonna be like that? Oops. Oh, why are they misaligned? Why the hell are they misaligned? Then you... Oh, right. There's another issue with this. The issue being that I also need some modules. Get that out. And let's get some modules in here. If I make a module right there, it affects, and there. Good. So those are the modules. That gets even faster. Alright, so let's see if we can get this done. That one's coming in, and now let's have a look at how fast this is. This is... How fast is it? It is 0.7. Wow, that's not much. Now we can do this logic, and I will build it right there and right there. And then, of course, we'll make some changes. This is actually fine, and then I don't need this part up here. Good. Then all I need to do is hook up the fluids and get those inbound here. Alright, let's do that. And so everything is now hooked up and it's ready to go. So what we need to do as the only thing is just to hook this up. I hope that will give us some of the data cards. It'll give us some of these. Let's see, there is one inbound, and here there is one inbound. Great. I've also set these to be inbound already because, well, they are just so standardized, so why not indeed. And they are coming in. This is not really needing a lot. If you look at the quantities for all of this, then it's 2.4 of the data cards, but it's 25 of these. So we need to build 3 of these. So 25 times 3 is 75. This is still within the constraint of what we actually have building in this build here. Excellent. Look at that. They are spinning, they're huffing, they're puffing, they are just working. They go into a box here, which will be filling up with infrared observation objects data. Then there'll be a little bit of scrap and a little bit of junk cards that will then be recycled. Remember, all provider stations must have a train, so these scrap trains have scrap or junk cards. They have their own train that will then be sending back. So you can see here there are 6 stations and then 6 trains. Here we have 5 stations and 5 pickups. So while this one is even more, 13 provider stations and then 13, basically they're all almost empty, but once in a while one will fill up. Now isn't this glorious? Then we just need to make this again, kind of, because what happens is actually that as I do this, that one, it just turns out that it's exactly the same thing I need to make. None of the inputs are different, none of the outputs are different. Well, output is slightly different. So this one, all I need to do is then do the visible light and then push it down here. And this one also just change to visible light. There. Then I can take this whole thing here and here. Okay, take these 2 out. That's the visible light. This one has to be changed too. That's over here. And visible light. And the station has to be changed. Oh, that's probably also a mistake. Okay, that was missing. So it's going to be visible light. There we go. And that also means that this one wasn't being actually changed. So I'll be changing that to the infrared light. There you go. That is all it takes for building one more of those. And of course I need to build 3 stations as well. And then I can just do the same thing one more time. And it's now built. We built all of this and it's just ready. It was just a little bit of time for it to build, and then we should see that things are coming in. Yes, something is coming in, and this one, nothing is coming in yet. Why? Because one is unloading still. Is that a mistake here? No. It's just taking a while for it to unload. This one has to get to 10,000, so this one is at 10,000, and it is good. The other one is currently being loaded, I guess. Yeah, okay, so it's currently being loaded. That means we're just going to wait a little bit of time for these to get in, and, well, it will be fine. Oops. There we go. So that goes in. Let's see. Are you coming in? Nope, not yet. Are you coming in? Nope, not yet. But we have the cold thermofluid inbound. We have all these inbounds, and then we just wait for this to actually start working. And here it is coming in. So the last of the data cards are coming in, unloading, and that should give us the infrared now. Infrared is coming in, and we just want to see the first ones coming out on the outbound line. That is absolutely glorious, and we see some residual come back, and we can then hurry up and move on to the next part. All right, so next part is, let's have a look up here. So we have the 3 infrareds, and now it's the Astrometrics. Astrometrics is just a combination of all 3. There are more advanced ways, but those are inaccessible to us right now, so we'll go with this one. So 3 of these become 3, and this one is probably producing pretty fast, so we'll take that. The other one was the more complicated one that we don't have access to. And we do the usual stuff. We are putting a box here, and that one, and let's put that. Yeah. Okay. So let's figure out how fast is this. This one is now producing at 4.2, which is more than enough for what we want. So all I need to do now is basically just have 3 inputs here. And that means we need a little bit of 3 input build here, and we need some cold inbound and outbound. So that's incredibly easy to make. Let's see, we need one of these outputs here. This will be the output. Go. We need a liquid inbound that we've done before, many times before. This one. That goes in here. And then we need something with 3 inputs. Here's something with 3 inputs. Maybe. It's at least something that we can use as a baseline. And we'll put that down here for baselining purposes and make sure that we prevent it from actually coming in. And then build those 3 lines in. That's just it. So we built this and hooked it up. And all we need to do now is open this one. And let's hope that we get some of these trains inbound. I've also set up trains, of course. 0 of 1 inbound. That's not good. 0 of 1. 1 of 1 and 0 of 1. Oh, okay. Oh no, oh no, oh no, there's a problem. There's a problem. There's a panic. Oh, I messed up. This one? No, one of these has 2. No, yeah, this is not good. I messed up. I messed up so bad. That is not the right one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's awful. Stop. And stop. And okay, so what happened? I guess I made a little mistake here. Yes, so all of this here. It's because it's impossible to see which one is what. So is that the yellow one? And this one is the... I don't know. Does it link to the right one? Yes, it does. Okay, funny. So you're gonna go back there, and I'm gonna pick up all. Oh no! Stop! Oh damn it! Yes. Here, and clean up that one, right? So this is the single one, and you don't need to be here. And I will then clean up this belt until we get right. Easy. There you go in here. So they are now 1 inbound, 1 inbound, and 1 inbound. And I can now enable these trains again. Oh man, this is what happens. Anyway, I had prepared it. Everything was perfect. No one sees anything wrong. This goes in. It's awesome. It's glorious. And we built a very short amount. I mean, this is all we need, and it just goes in here and builds up in a location that makes Astrometrics. And now comes the part that is actually pretty damn cool. Well, I mean, I thought it was pretty damn cool that when we built one of these, we could just do that. Now comes another thing that I think is even cooler. Because that's the freaking same. I'll just take these out. Yeah. That's it. Those are the only things we need to take out. And then when that's done, all we need to do now is build this part. And then instead of having these 4 ingredients into the pink science, then we just take the same corresponding ingredients, but into that one. And then all we need to do is copy it up here. Hold on, that's actually the wrong way around. There. That one. That one. There. So this is the inbound, this is the inbound, this is outbound, outbound, outbound. And that matches. Good. Alright. And all we need to do on these is actually just get the other locations. Let's see what we actually want. Then that will be, I don't know. We'll just start from one end here. And this will be there. These will be changed as well. There'll be, what is this actually called? Hello, autosave. That one. And then we just search an observation. And that will be that's the yellow one inbound. Yellow inbound matched to that yellow one. Yes. Next one is the visible. And that matches to visible. Ah, that's a much better way to do it. Then I can't mess it up as easily down here. We also need the same thing. Then I will do this to ultra UV light, that one, and switch this to also be UV light, and then this will be Astrometrics there, and you are going to be Astro. Oh, we don't have one. We don't have that yet, of course. There. No one is coming in with that, and therefore we don't have a train as well, so we just add a little train here. That one. And this will go Astro from Astrometrics there to Astrometrics there. And the reason why we have the other Astrometrics is because we have this insight here is actually already requesting the insights, the blue insights, but no one is coming in there yet. All right, so these are actually done. They will go up here and they will go into a location which will not be catalog, pink catalog, but be blue catalog. So let's do that. Great, blue catalog, outbound. And we can do the same thing over on the next one. We can see we are starting to have issues with the with that. No, actually we're not. They are coming in. And this needs to be changed to blue insights, right? Yes, this is pink insights 1. Then we just change it like this. And down here we get the blue insights, and this will, we don't have that yet, but we have it now. There we go. We don't have a train, so we get a train for that. I love how simple this is once we get going, because it is it can be really complicated. And then that's a catalog. So we go from blue catalog, full cargo, to blue catalog, unload, empty cargo. There we go. That's done. And we now have up here, that one definitely needs to be changed to blue, and that, and this one will now be a provider of the blue insights, which will of course also have a train, like so, and insight from here to there, empty, go. All right. And this needs a little bit of time to work, and let's get this up and running and then start working on the next. We should also get this going again out here. We should really just make sure that this is busy. So a little bit of waiting time until these are done, and then we can proceed. We are now hooking this one up, and we are starting to see things coming in. It'll take us a while before we get this this part in here, so unfortunately that will take a little bit of time, a little bit additional time before it goes in here, because it has to run through and get all 4 of these observation parts, observation data inbound. Once we get all the observation data, why are you not working? Ah, well, that's another little headache. We need to make sure this goes a little bit faster. Oh, it's so close. Okay, for now, I'm just gonna let it go. But anyway, this comes out here very soon, I hope. Is there anything inbound? No, it's not inbound because it's going into another one. Yeah, that's what happens. We have increased so much the consumption of cold thermofluid that all of these are a little bit starving, to say the least. So that will also need to wait a little bit. So what we need to do is get that going. Then we might as well get this part here going as well. and then we are in a stable situation so we can get started on the last build. And here we go. This is the catalogs now coming in, and we also got the fuel sorted. So all it needs to do is take the catalogs in. They are going to go in here for the insights. The insights will go out later on. Let's see. We are also setting... there's a reason why this is a provider, because we have a logic that says if there's a stockpile of stuff in the provider chest, then use the recycled ones here, the ones that are freed up from these insight process. And we now built a little bit of insights. So we now need the insights. Let's look at the recipe. Now we're all the way towards the blue science, and then that's going to be pretty simple. Like if we compare this is there's thermofluid, there's some junk cards, there's the science, and then there's insight, astronomics, insightful data, significant data, and then a random plate. Let's have a look at that compared to the pink one. It's exactly the same, except it's a different kind of random plate. So what I can do is, again, just do good old copy paste, never fails. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Like how easy it is for us to actually replicate a lot of this. There we go. And all I need to do now is start working on these. They will then also be here and here. This will be then the blue insight, and this will be insight, blue insight there, and that comes in. This will be a catalog, so it'll just be catalog, and it'll be the blue catalog instead, and then it's coming in as well. Down here it will be that random crap. In this case, we don't actually have that. We have the beryllium as plates, and plate stack to 100, so this will be 5,000. And that also goes out here, maybe just a little bit more. And the only thing is we do not make that one, but we do make... Let's get this one. This will change to the blue science. And you've created, I want you created, and then I want to see how fast it's consuming. It's using 22.5. That means it's actually wants its own belt. Thank you. I'll get your own belt. That. And the other one here will just go a little bit further out here. And that. That goes this way. That's really a silly way of doing this. Kind of feels a little bad because this is not going to keep up. Here, here, and here. Something like that. That should be fine. Although this looks stupid, so let's get this down here in a better way. This is why I usually cut this out, because there's too much fidgeting when just trying to do belts. So, but it's so damn close, and all this done, and the only thing outbound, this might be a little bit of a difference here, because this is now putting 2 outbounds. Yes, well, that's actually fine. I don't know if I want it. Maybe I want it on a train, maybe I don't want it on a train. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, we can hook this up and then get started on the next big project. The next big project is obviously going to be cleaning up, because as you can see now, all of this part here, all this part is completely redundant and irrelevant, because that's part of the blue science. This is part of the red science. This is part of the utility science. These blank cards don't need anymore. This polishing don't need anymore. This thermofluid don't need anymore. This they need. This, all of the bus can now be disappeared, and all these things. So what we need to do now is work on this location, which has been reserved for a hub. So let's get this going and then take a look at how the hub should be built. So now let's take a look at the hub. The hub will be revolving around sort of a very basic setup, and I have designed it. That was the wrong way. There we go. I have designed it in a specific way. I have made all of the inputs, the fuel inbounds or whatever, the inbound stuff here coming in with rockets just close by, and everything goes out in a, oh, I don't like that. Let's not look at that then. All of it is fully stored and fully stacked in all of these inbounds. So as you can see here, we have all these available, and they are available in passive provider storages, and that means the passive provider will be really close to my hub. That means the travel distance for robots will be short, so I can actually rely on something like this. That means I need to build, or I want to build something like this, and then I also want a substation in between. There we go. So that's kind of our baseline here. And how do I want to build it? Maybe something like this. I think I want enough room, 3 room here for that. And let's have a look. And this is actually a much better idea. Aiming it out from the middle. And taking this one out and go here. There you go. So that's going to be one line, and not everything will be built in this. That's going to be a second one. Then I'm going to rotate it and build it. You know what? I'm just going to rotate it like this. There, easy. Now we need something in between, and that is going to be the smaller parts. And how far do we... Well, we'll start in the middle. This will be the middle. There. We're also going to have some of the smaller things, something that can just be navigated in a normal assembler. Then we're going to get some inputs and outputs. Input, output, input, output. Here and here. And they will be fully... And then we just push them out to the side. There. So that is the basic premise. Now, is that going to work? No. Well, yes, it is. Because all of these things can be moved. And then, of course, some of the things have to be made in other kind of machines. But then there's a lot of all of this. And I think I'll just be separating it. So instead of making the gun turrets in here, because the gun turrets also need these machines or motors. And then I'm going to make motors, and there's just it's just in logistic network, and some things also need water and all that stuff. And then I need to move all these things. Then so I'll just be moving all this and start migrating all this data, all this stuff here. All right, let's have a look at that. Work in progress. Things are being moved. And what have we done here? Well, let's have a look at what we have. I have built a lot of things. All of this is now our new storage. There's a lot of junk that's been moved over here. And yeah, sure, I also want to move these things, but like one UV observation frame, do I want to hand move it? We have a number of things. We have all the different things crafted. Not enough space pipes. That's not a big surprise. Here we have our production of life support. That's good. Here we have our production of belts. That's also good. Except for one thing. It's not actually working. Yeah, it's not working. That one has to go up here. Because, why is it not working? There. We actually need the stuff inbound. Alright, well, steel is not inbound, but it will. Right, we can also put more modules on these, but generally, as you can see, some of the things here, they are special. I have some special things out here, like concrete is a little bit weird, so I put it out here on the edge because it needs 3 inputs that I don't really want to store. And this is our sort of general requester thing. That's for the space hub. And then, let's see, we have these special things here. Here we have 2 landing pads. This is the landing pad for the hub. That just comes in as the hub and then just gets thrown in here when necessary. And this is for requesting additional rockets. Should we need to launch anything from here, but I don't really launch much from here. I actually have quite an excess of rockets. Here we have the little shooty for our uranium, which has also been fixed. You can see that. Here we have our pipes, good old pipes. Here, so expensive. Look at that steel. Steel's not working very well. And finally we have this one. This is our sort of, I don't know, safety rocket or something. This rocket is kind of taking care of getting all the excess cargo rocket sections that we end up getting up here. We put them into this rocket because most of the time when I need to go back, then I can take this rocket and send it back to Novice, and then all these rocket parts will be recycled. Excellent. That works fine. This is not really... Oh, it is getting stuff inbound. So all we need to do now is wait for all of this to be removed. Then we have it. We still have our spaceship. I think I need to move the spaceship somewhere. I think I need to make a dedicated spaceship dock here, but I haven't really figured that out yet. But at least we now have a nice big square. So let's look at when we have everything idle. Look at this glorious build. This is completely and utterly saturated and perfectly ready and steady. Except I found an interesting thing, and I thought I wanted to show you here at the end a little bit of how fragile the base actually is. So let's look around and then see, oh, why is the blue not working? Well, something is not coming in. That's the catalogs. Why are the catalogs not coming in? Well, the catalogs have kind of stalled out. Why have the catalogs stalled out? They've stalled out because of that. This UV light. Okay, why is the UV light, UV frame not working? Okay, we can see here. Why is that not working? It's not working because of lack of frames. Okay, let's go up here and take a look at the frames build. Frames are not working. Why are they not working? Iridium, beryllium is not working. Why is the beryllium not working? Beryllium is not working because there's nothing coming in. Oh no, let's go back to Navis and figure out why we have an issue on Navis with regards to that. So I go up to the trains, I search for beryllium, and let's have a look at the beryllium here. So why is the beryllium not working? Switch over. Beryllium is not working, something is not coming in, and that is the barrel. Okay, barrel is not coming in, and then I need to find the barrel. Barrel. There, and that is where it's provided from, that one. Okay, because it's not coming in with a rocket. Okay, so we need to figure out, it's the Calidus belt. So why is it not coming in? Because you're good, you're full and ready. Oh, it's missing liquid fuel. All right. So now we know it's missing liquid fuel. Why is it missing liquid fuel? This one should be making liquid fuel. Oh, we're not getting any liquid fuel in. Why are we not getting any liquid fuel in? Because this one is not empty, and it's only when it's empty that it gets out. So why is it not empty? It's not empty because I am unable to get rid of these rocket parts. And why are we not able to get into rocket parts? Because we are requesting them over here. So they go in, and they will go in before they will actually be, the other ones are converted in. There we go. And yeah, why is that? Why are they not being brought in? Look to the right hand side. Logistics robots, 0. I forgot to put logistics robots here. So because I don't have logistics robots in this list location, I don't have the ability to move this. I don't have the ability to remove these things that are stuck, and therefore I don't get any rocket fuel. Therefore I don't get beryllium back to Navis, and then we don't get beryllium plates, and you know, the whole thing. Isn't that ridiculous? So let's fix it and see what happens. So I brought with me 200 logistics robots, and as they go out, this is emptying. We should now see rocket fuel coming in here. Come on, rocket fuel. Here goes the rocket fuel. It comes in. Isn't that glorious? We just want to see this. This is a perfect example of some of the fun things we do on Livestream is fix all these things so that on the YouTube episodes, it can look like everything is completely smooth. But it's not always as smooth as we would want it to be. So I'm going to sit in here and wait for this one to just launch automatically, which it will be as soon as it fills up with fuel. There we go. It is now in launch mode, and we start seeing it filling up again. And that should bring us safely back to Navis. I hope. We need to hitch a ride on this rocket anyway, because we need a rocket launch to get here. And we land safely back on Navis. And as that comes in, we have this elaborate weird thing. And that should give us a train inbound. Funny how you... Oh, right. This one is kind of stuck. I don't want to do that. I actually don't want to do that. Actually, I want to do this. There. Because it's only if it's unloading there's a problem. Here. And we should see the train coming in. And then we can just trace this all the way through to start up the beryllium process. Here we are. It's being unloaded. Kind of awful looking at all of these belts that could be upgraded, and they're now going to be upgraded. Doesn't really matter. It's designed for red belts. I just like blue belts better now. Now that we changed the blue belts, I want blue belts everywhere. And we see the process slowly starting up here. Getting in and being filtered off. We see the next part. I can't really remember what all these things are, but they are apparently essential and important. So we'll just let them work on it. Okay, we see them flipping here. The next thing is coming in, and the next thing that will be making it into the molten beryllium. And when we see the molten beryllium going up here, then we see that becoming ingots, and we see the first little bit of this, and they are then shoveling inbound. And you could say that maybe we should actually not export beryllium plates, but actually beryllium ingots. That would be better. Yeah, I don't want to change that, but because then it's a lot of things that have to be changed. But ultimately, now we have beryllium available, and there. So now we need the beryllium to go into the rocket, so we can launch the rocket. There we go. Our train is now full of beryllium plate. We will now take this ride and ride it over to our rocket launch, and then see if we can get that rocket launch off the ground and get it back into orbit. And then we just sort of fix the issue and traced our way through all of the debugging steps. I think this is also a nice way for us to get a little familiarized with, oh yeah, how much is actually working around on Navis to have our Navis orbit base working. All of this has to work all the time in order for us to actually be able to just build stuff in orbit, as we have now been accustomed to doing for a while. But you need to take a peek down here below underground, down the gravity well, to see that it's there's actually a lot of stuff going on here. Well, let's have a look. Actually, why are we not just upgrading these? There you go. I'm still inside. Yes. Good. And 93. We're still missing how much? We're still missing 70. So we still need 30 stacks full. So let's wait for those 30 stacks to come in, and then we'll see a launch. There we go. Finally, it managed to fill up. It took a lot longer because we can only fill it up at 45 per second. And that might be something we should keep in mind, because, for example, stuff like copper and steel, that might just not be enough. Copper is used quite a lot in this mod pack somehow. And, well, there we go. We are now coming inbound, and we finally sort of retraced our steps and fixed that little issue. That was one of the things that I really wanted to make sure, that just showing you what happens if... what happens, or how fragile this whole build actually is, and how much a single little thing like missing logistics bot could just get the whole base to grind to a halt. But it has been restored. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get the save games, then those are available to Patreon supporters. If you want to see us debugging and designing, then that's on Twitch on Sundays at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And of course, keep up with this YouTube episode on a pretty much a weekly basis. Until then, until next time, take care and stay effective.